All right, it is 6 p.m. on Thursday, September 4th, and calling our monthly meeting to order. Tracy, will you call roll, please?
Trustee Gaffney.
Here.
Trustee Kennedy.
Here.
Trustee Mannheim.
Here.
Trustee McManus.
Here.
Trustee Seifert.
Here.
Excellent, thank you. Will you please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. Is there any public comment? Nope. All right, that will take us to our reports. First item is item A, the financial report.
All right, good evening, everybody. Let's walk through the first 3 months ended July 31, so that takes us to the end of Q1. We'll start with some revenue highlights. Again, 25% of the way through. We've received 44% of our total revenue budget. Taxes of $2.8 million, 53% on the first major installment. That we received in June, and then again in September we're going to receive the next payment for this month. We should be close after this month to 100%. Ambulance fees just a little behind here. We're at about $367,000 or 22%. We are catching up though, as each month's been better than the last. No PPRT to date. Again, that comes in about 8 times a year from the state. Interest looks good, $56,000 there. We're at 27%. Again, 2% better than where we are in the year. And then no debt proceeds or sale of assets to date. Next slide is we look at these revenues line by line. Percent of budget versus last year. Taxes in at 53%, up 10. Interest in at 27%, that's up 8. Ambulance fees in at 22, up 44. All of those major revenue streams look very good to start the year. $3.2 million, we budgeted 7.3, so we're at 44%, up 12% over last year. Next slide, just year-to-date numbers. Property taxes make up about 87% of the pie. Ambulance fees 11, fire recovery 0.1, interest about 2. On the next slide, just to look at those collections for ambulance fees. You can see July, another good month, $132,000, so we've been progressively getting better. Each month so far, $367,000 in total, averaging about $122 a month. Our budget average though is $137, so a little bit behind the budgeted average, but you can see kind of the ebb and flow to some of these collections, so I do expect that to pick up some. The next slide, in terms of expenditures, 25% of the way through, we've expensed 29% of the total budget. Ops look good in a little bit better than where we are in the year at 22%. Again, driven by salaries, those are at 22 on 7 to 26 payrolls. Contractual services at 27. Vehicle maintenance and fuel at 16. Capital outlay and debt service at 34. Again, most of that for the new station. Architectural services 1.9 million, new engine 407, and then some interest at 222. Again, principal and interest payments are going to be made in November, December. Expenditures, again, line by line, percent of budget versus last year. Personnel's in at 22, down 11. Outside of that, contractual services in at 27, that's up 56, but again, these are much smaller numbers as we get outside personnel costs. Materials and supplies in at 25, up 38. Fire station, a little elevated here. We probably had some one-time expenditures go out. We're at 64% of the budget there, up 17. 1.1 million in total for ops, 5.2 million is the budget. We're at 22%. We are down 5% from last year's spend. Debt expenditures, that's just an interest payment at 12% of the budget, and capital outlay, again, a majority of that for the station bill, that's at 41%. So the year-to-date distribution, personnel makes up 83%, training travel 0.1, contractual services about 11, materials and supplies 2, fire station 2, vehicle maintenance and fuel 2, other foreign fire 0.3. So after 3 months, again, we've had some heavy capital spend with the station bill. So you can see we're using those reserves that we took in from bond proceeds in the prior year, $445,000. We started though with $6.7 million, so we're about $6.2 million in ending fund balance. And again, we're going to track lower than the last 2 years based on having $2.2 million spent so far for capital. Again, most of that station related. If we pull that out, on the next slide, you can see we're actually running a little bit better in terms of operations. $1.2 million spent last year. This year, about 1.15, so a little bit lower on the expense side, a little bit more on the revenue side, 2.2 million to date. Last but not least, just investments, about 5.8 million across all accounts, still having good returns or yields at 4% across those money markets. That Schwab account, that's yielding greater than 4%. That's our managed by Soros Faldudo. We are going to get a rate cut here coming up in September. So again, we may want to pull some money out of those money markets and put it into the Schwab account where the managers can kind of get a little bit better bang for the buck as they have a wide net they can cast on investments. But those look good, and you see that in the investment income number year to date looks up. So other than that, I'd be happy to take any questions from the board.
Anybody have any questions or comments for James? Nope. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, takes us to item B, the chief's report.
Okay, so the big topic of discussion is Station 3. It's looking great. The floors have been worked on this week. They're going to seal them later this week. That's one of the big remaining projects. I think last month we talked about some of the product that they were putting on the walls of the apparatus bay was not the right material. That has been replaced. It's being put up on the walls. It is now the right material. It was not our expense. That was a mistake made by actually the architect is actually the one who picked the wrong material. So we got that handled. We got it replaced. It's moving forward. So as far as really the big items, most of those are being checked off. This month we're finishing up on some of the punch list items. We got a couple of those projects going on, finishing up the walls. A couple rooms need drop ceilings, but I think we're really getting close to the finish line. And as always, I will keep you posted as things move along. The big news for this month, in my opinion, is staffing. So we have 2 of our members have passed the National Paramedic Examination. So we've got two brand new paramedics on staff. Those are Jason Rush and Matthew Rituerto. And we've got 3 other paramedic students who have successfully completed class. They're working on completing their ride time, and when that is complete, they'll be taking their national exams. So congratulations to Kevin Cervantes, Ryan Feely, and Danny Niesel. We've got 4 members who are going to be starting paramedic class this fall. It's firefighter EMT Gomel, Lamb, Norton, and Ruiz. And we've got 1 currently paramedic only who is attending firefighter class this fall. That is Laura Juarez. So a lot of training going on, a lot of new certifications being pursued. As far as some of the calls, the kind of higher acuity calls that happened last month, we had one on Black Shift. It was a motor vehicle accident, unfortunately with fatality, near Silver Glen and Old Homestead Road. The good news is the responding crews did an excellent job, even though the end result wasn't what we, of course, hoped for. But the crews were able to quickly recognize the need for stabilizing the vehicle. Request for flight medics was called early in the incident. They were able to get to the scene quickly, even though they did not ultimately transport. We gave big thanks to South Elgin Fire for responding with an engine for additional manpower and tools. We also had the help of Accurate Towing, so we went into the private sector a little bit for help with further securing and stabilizing the vehicle and aiding in the recovery and extrication efforts. And on Red Shift, we had another high acuity call. This was a 1.5-year-old child. Crews went en route. When they arrived, the child was turning blue. They were instantly met with the parents who handed the baby over to the crews. Started BLS and ALS care. They did care en route to Delnor with a very quick turnaround time. Total call time from dispatch to arrival at the hospital was 22 minutes. Unfortunately, despite all their best efforts, the outcome again was not what we'd hoped for. The hospital staff did compliment our crews though for doing an excellent job, even though we can't always guarantee a successful outcome. As far as public education and fire prevention, not a whole lot this month. The crews attended a few block parties. We did attend National Night Out both in Campton Hills and Kane County, and we ran a few fire drills. Fire Prevention Bureau, we did attend the District 303 safety meeting. We're working with District 303 on a new and an updated evacuation plan at Wild Rose, and we had some various fire alarm sprinkler tests and plan reviews. Fleet, all 5 of our engines were pump tested, all passed, they're all in service. We had a couple of minor repairs and maintenance issues on both ambulances. Battalion 18, Engine 1811 had an Opticom repair, and that's about it. If there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer them for you.
Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you. That takes us to item C, the attorney's report.
Why, thank you. I'll let you off a little bit easy this evening because the legal landscape hasn't changed all that much since we met last. But I think it'd be good to take this opportunity to do a bit of future planning. So the next big item on the agenda is to do your levy ordinance. Last time you did that in November. James, if you think we're good on that trajectory again for this year?
I do.
Okay. And then any sort of huge EV shift or anything like that, it's going to require truth in taxation or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, with the 2.9 CPI, we'd have to have some massive growth or a TIF basically coming out of the tax rolls. So
Great.
it won't require.
Nice. So nice and easy. We'll come to you in November with the levy ordinance then. Otherwise, that's it for me this month.
Any questions or comments for John? Nope. Okay. That takes us to item D, the president's report. I don't have much, except for today I did get an opportunity to tour Station 3. So that was exciting to see it coming along. So I appreciate the time that Jim spent walking me through there to see things and operations, and it's exciting. It's going to be a great addition to the district. So it was exciting for me, and I got to be a little bit of a nerd as the architect to go through it. So it was exciting to see that. So excited to add that on into the district. So that's all I have. All right. That takes us to the consent agenda. Are there any items anybody would like to poll? Nope. All right. Do I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through C?
So
Second. Okay. Tracy, you take the roll, please.
Yep. Trustee Kennedy.
Aye.
Trustee Mannheim.
Aye.
Trustee McManus.
Present.
And Trustee Seifert.
Aye.
Trustee Gaffney.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thanks. All right. That takes us to our action items. Our first item is the discussion and possible approval of Resolution 2025-3, declaring retired radio surplus property and authorizing and directing their donation.
So this is
who do we donate to?
it is the federal government of Greece Fire Corps for the island of Ikaria in Greece. We didn't pick this name out of a hat. One of our members here has ties there. I believe he's got family origins there. Their fire corps there, they do not have the kind of equipment that we do. They would love to have these radios. As far as what we were planning to do with these radios, absolutely nothing. They're outdated for our needs. We were looking at ways to dispose of them actually, but if someone can put them to use, I would much rather see them go there than in a landfill. So what I'm looking for you to do is approve these items as surplus. There's 16 Motorola model XPR 6550 radios and 11, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Baofeng model UV-B5 radios. Once they're declared surplus, we will get them shipped off to this fire corps in Greece.
Do we get to hand deliver them?
I doubt it. If we do, I'll call you.
Just wondering.
It's a good question.
Any other discussion? All right, then do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Approve it.
Okay,
A second.
second, thank you. Tracy?
Trustee McManus.
Aye.
Trustee Seifert.
Aye.
Trustee Gaffney.
Aye.
Trustee Kennedy.
Aye.
Trustee Mannheim.
Aye. Motion passes, thanks. All right, that takes us to item B, the discussion and possible approval of Resolution 2025-04, approving change orders, PCO 1, alternate 1 fitness room, PCO 2, pre-engineered building, PCOs 22 and 24, the monument sign from pending OCO and CVL, and PCO log.
So this is, it's an unusual situation. Let me try and explain what's happening here. So the Station 3 fitness room, that was actually an alternate plan, or help me out, architect, alternate plan?
Yes.
Okay, so an alternate plan, and what it was, we planned to build a station, and if we could afford it, we wanted to put a weight room on as well. Well, when we were saving money, one of the first things that we scratched was this exercise room. But as we went through and the bids came in, we decided, you know what, I think we can swing this exercise room. The point was made, if we don't do it now, we're probably never going to do it. So it was brought to the board as an option to select the alternate, and the board did approve it. However, we met with LAMP last month, myself, President Mannheim, and Trustee Gaffney, and as we were talking with them, we thought, you know, just to make sure all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed, we should probably have the board approve some of these large ticket items, even though, quite frankly, they've already been implemented. Obviously, with the station being so close to completion, these things have already been implemented and included. We're just trying to formalize things by officially having the board approve these change orders. So the first one was the addition of that station's fitness room. The second was the pre-engineered building, and what happened there was we went out for bid on a wood frame building, thinking at that time that wood frame would be much cheaper than steel. The wood frame bids came in way higher than we expected, and we asked if we could go out for a rebid. They said yes, that is allowable. So when we went out for rebid, one of the things we did was we allowed them to bid a steel frame building. And surprisingly enough, the steel bid came in lower than the wood bid, and actually the steel bid was what we would have preferred to do in the first place. So in a kind of crazy turn of events, we got what we wanted at a cheaper price. That also was approved by the board. That also is something that we're going to approve again tonight, just to make sure everything's on the up and up. And then finally, the monument sign. This is, you'll see them sometimes in front of fire stations and high schools. It's that kind of digital sign, the readout that you can put in front of the station, giving messages to passersby and the public, that sort of thing. That one, although the change order was approved, it probably should come to the board for official approval, and that is the third item on the resolution tonight. If you have any questions about these, I will do my best to answer for you, but that's the situation in a nutshell.
I have a question.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to refer this to Trustee Gaffney, our treasurer. I had a question regarding the fitness room, and you had made a suggestion as far as going to closed session, or?
Yeah, I think if you want to discuss it, that being a contractual item, I think we should go into closed session to discuss part of the problem. My question here is the three change orders that we're approving here have been pre-approved by the previous board.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're going through a formality now.
Correct.
I'd like to go into closed session with Mr. McManus and discuss this a little bit, just so we can get some clarification on what exactly was going on, if that's okay with the board, and put this off until we come out of closed session.
I guess I need to know a bit more about the topic that we're going to go into closed session for.
I guess it's going to revolve around person or trustees that voted in favor and what the reason was for it. My position on the three change orders is there are two of the three. I don't know why the money was spent. We're here representing the public, and it seems as though we had $13 million or whatever it was, and because the station come in a few dollars under budget, we decided to spend more money. I don't think that's being financially responsible to the public, and that's my opinion on it. I can't change that, okay? But I do want to discuss how the process was made, who made the decisions, and who made the final decisions.
I see.
And that goes into some personnel problems. So
Got
I'd
it.
like to.
So that would be motion to go into closed session
Yep.
for personnel then.
I guess I have a question. Are these change orders anything different than we originally voted on?
No. No. So
I'm just kind of curious why they're up to vote on again.
So the only
I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's a fair question. The only reason they're up to vote on again was, as we were talking with LAMP at our meeting last month, a comment was made by one of the trustees present, I believe, that, hey, these should really be approved by the board. And as a matter of a formality, we said, yes, we can bring these 3 change orders to the board and the board can officially approve them. Keep in mind, 2 of these issues have already been approved by the board. And although they call them change orders by LAMP, one of them was an alternate plan that was originally presented by the architect. So we had a plan for a station with a workout room, and then we had an alternate for a station without a workout room. That was the first one. We initially approved the station without the workout room, and then the board did, in open meeting, approve that we changed to the alternate. So really, it's been signed, sealed, delivered, amen.
So what's the point of voting? What if we, the majority voted no? I mean, that's where I'm a little confused here.
Basically, it's a point of clarification, I think.
Okay.
to finalize.
It's just cleaning up the paperwork, really, at the end of the day. As, you know, obviously this was before I was on it too, but the chief's point, you know, the building's already built, fitness room is already, all those things were accepted. I think this is just more formalities and getting all the ducks in a row so that as we come across the finish line and start to wrap up, you know, final pay-ups and everything, that, you know, everything's just kind of I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
We could vote on it now and go into closed session and discuss it. We're not gonna change the outcome.
All right.
And to be clear, it was brought before the board and voted on, so.
Now, a point of clarification, previous board.
Right,
Okay,
but that still counts.
Yeah, I know,
It's
I
still-
just want to clarify
Sure.
that there's 3 of us sitting here that didn't have anything to do with that.
Correct.
Okay.
Likewise, the change from the wooden structure to the steel structure, that was approved to go out for rebid. The bid came in lower, we made the change to the steel structure. We did save money on it. Full disclosure, because we went from wood to steel, there were some other items that had to be changed. For example, some of the concrete had to change because we are now using a different structure. But ultimately, it was
Cost savings.
it was a cost savings, correct. And we got the product that we wanted in the first place, the better product, in our opinion, steel rather than wood. That also has already been approved by the previous board. The monument sign, that one you might want to clean up. So we did order it, and that was in the plans from the very beginning for us to have a monument sign, but we moved forward with it, placed the order, it's being fabricated as we speak. That one would be more of a cleanup item, as far as, okay, so just so that there's no questions later on, yes, the board knows about it and we have approved it.
So are you guys comfortable voting on it and then we'll discuss other
Yeah,
issues in closed session?
We're just voting on a clarification is all we're doing.
Yeah,
So if you need a motion, I'll make the motion.
okay. Are you okay?
I'll second.
Okay. All right.
Trustee Seifert?
Aye.
Trustee Gaffney?
Aye.
Trustee Kennedy?
Aye.
Trustee Mannheim?
Aye.
Trustee McManus?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. That takes us to new business. Is there any new business from any of the board members? Nope. I will,
Well, I have a question.
yes,
Okay.
all right.
I guess it's pretty self-explanatory here now. So I noticed that there's obviously a change in the format of the agenda
Mhm.
that was made last month.
Yes,
Okay. That was through your recommendation?
yes.
Okay.
I was just trying to help kind of clean some things
No,
up
no,
and
I
give us
appreciate that.
opportunities.
Yeah.
I kind of based it off how we used to do things with the school board.
So in the future, if we have any comments, this is when we'll be speaking.
New business?
New business or any other,
Yeah, new business would be an opportunity for the trustees specifically, for us to bring up something, if there's something that we would like to see additional information on, or if we had something you wanted to bring up, like an event or something, you know, that you're attending or training or something. Just an opportunity for the 5 of us to, you know, bring anything up or ask, you know, if there's something we want to talk about at the next meeting or something like that.
okay. And then we have the opportunity to speak on old business? When there's some old business going on, we can speak up at any time in regards to, what am I trying to say? Things that are going on with the department or whatever. I mean, there's old business typically and new business.
Yeah, I think they kind of fall into the same
So
category.
new business will, and old business will fall into.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you had
Just
if you wanted to follow up with something or something like that, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then I'll let you guys know, as the trustees, I will be out of the country for a week in September, 16th to the 24th. So just letting you guys know that I will not, I'll still have my phone. If there's an emergency, I
Do
can
you
reach
want to
out.
vote on that, or what?
What's that?
Do you want to vote on that?
Unless you want to refund my plane ticket. But I just want to let you guys know that I'd be out of the country, so. All right, then do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session?
I
for
have
Oh.
another recommendation as far as closed session. I would like to discuss a possible investigation on a contractor that Fox River used, and I think it should go in closed session.
So that'd be personnel matters and,
Well, so that would be personnel, but I don't believe that we're able to go into closed session to talk about non-employees.
Oh? Okay, I guess we'll talk about it here.
or if you and I want to talk about it, we can talk about it
Okay,
with the chief, if you want.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, let's set that up then.
Okay, can we do it right after the meeting?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so just personnel matters then, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of personnel matters?
So moved.
Need a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
Second?
Kennedy?
Trustee Gaffney.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Mannheim.
Yes.
Trustee McManus.
Yes.
Trustee Seaver.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned from open session at 6:26. Thank you, everybody.
Let me go here for a second then. I was in yesterday and I spoke to the chief and Tracy about the bills, and I got clarification on certain things. I guess I was made aware yesterday that I thought Alexis was still running, and I'm gonna spiel here, was still running a maintenance program where they took care of what they sold, okay? Come to find out that that's not really true. They sold to somebody else that can't perform. I guess my question is that in the past, and I'm going back 10, 12, 15 years ago when we first started this, we did not deal with EVS or the guy in St. Charles because we felt his cost was not always fair, legit. Are we comfortable dealing with him, or is there, and I'm throwing things out here, I was looking at the bills and so on and so forth, and I'm going with my past history, little disappointed in Alexis, but that's another
Yeah.
conversation for another day.
We're all more than a little
Well, we
disappointed.
have to
Okay.
consider in the future about using them again. They don't have maintenance.
Are we talking about EVS or Alexis?
Alexis.
That thought has occurred to me.
What was that over there?
So if Alexis does not have the maintenance capability that we're looking for, might we want to consider another vendor for our next vehicle? And the answer
I
is
think that's-
absolutely, we're gonna consider
yeah,
another
that's-
vendor.
yeah.
I'm not taking them off the list,
Yeah.
but certainly I'm not going in with my eyes closed either.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Well, in regards to EVS,
Mhm.
previous administration was in agreement that we would use EVS in a very controlled manner, that they weren't going to be given a lot of work because of complaints from Chief Lancaster and the conversations that we had, and he had issues in South Elgin.
Mhm.
I was in charge of the maintenance in St. Charles at the time when I was there, and we quit using EVS for the same reasons, so
Mhm.
we didn't feel comfortable continue using them, and it was just agreed, well, if they're small jobs, okay, you know.
Nick, who did you use in place then? Just,
There was a company that was out in Lyons, not Lyons, but what's the other Lion?
Hodgkins.
Lyle?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I don't, what's logic?
Yeah, so let's do this. How about if we do this? Let's do a little research and see who
Yeah,
else is out there and see
absolutely.
if we can find somebody that maybe can be competitive or cheaper, less expensive, I should say. And then we'll maybe have a discussion at a later time about that.
Okay.
If that's okay?
Yeah, so.
I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
No, not at all. So as far as EVS goes, I've heard some rumors about the fact that we as a fire department weren't satisfied with them before. I take that with due respect. However, the thing I do like about EVS is this. Number one, they're Johnny on the spot. So that's not the end all be all, but when my engine breaks down at 4 in the morning and that guy can be there by 4:15, that's a big deal. He has been reliable. He's done a good job. He's done good fixing it. I looked at his costs. I don't think that his hourly rate is out of line. I can't vouch for this. I need someone with more experience than I have with fixing vehicles, but I don't know if the amount of time they're putting in completing their repairs is reasonable or not. So let's say they do an alignment job and it takes 6 hours. Okay, your $150 an hour is probably reasonable for working on a specialty item. Is 6 hours a reasonable amount of time for it to take to do it?
That would be
Yes.
my question.
And that was the issues in the past. It wasn't the hourly
Okay.
rate, it was the time that
Okay,
it took.
then that will be looked at, seriously.
We felt in the past that they were working on an engine, and they'd pull a guy to go, say, do an emergency job, and they'd forget that the guy was not doing the engine for 2 hours. I'm just saying, man, it all mounts up at the end of the year. And like I say, we run a very, very tight ship here.
Yep,
I'm not trying to criticize them,
No.
I'm just saying that with me, I'd like to see, and I think Nick agrees with me, let's see some more options. If we can do it, let's do it.
absolutely.
If there's a reason that, if they're giving us good service and we can vouch for the hours, I don't have a problem with it. I just want
And
to.
let me do a little deeper dive into some of the work they've already done with some people that are more knowledgeable mechanically than I am, and see if it holds water.
Because I've often wondered, after looking at the bill, we're talking about $24,000 a month. If we wouldn't be better off hiring a mechanic, how much could a mechanic do?
Well, yeah,
I looking at the number and I'm going, at $20,000 a month, that's $240,000 a year. That's 2 or 3 firefighters.
obviously, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but it's not a $20,000 a month thing. It's a
No.
$20,000 this month, $3,000 next
And
month.
yesterday when I came in, I was concerned about
Yeah.
18, 14, you said, it was a factory problem is what it amounted to.
Did everyone get a chance to read the email I sent about 1814?
Yes.
And what happened there? Okay, you did not.
I did that.
Very quickly, so we're talking about Alexis sold off their maintenance division to a company called Legacy. We sent 1814 to Legacy for maintenance work, including greasing and all
It wasn't
that,
greased,
at all,
all right, from day one,
correct.
I understand that, yeah. I
And
know that.
the rest is history.
I
The
know.
axle failed, the axle, when it failed, destroyed a couple other things, and it cost at least $10,000 in repairs.
Right,
That Alexis says they're gonna take care of it, we're gonna make them take care of it.
oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So why is
So-
it 80/20?
I'm sorry,
You
what?
said they're paying 80% of it?
No.
Excuse me, I came up with that number when I talked to Nick,
Oh,
and I was saying, some of the bill was probably legit.
Yeah,
And some of it
absolutely.
wasn't, so I was
So-
just using an 80/20.
Like a front end tire replacement, that wasn't their fault, that was just
Okay.
regular. So some of that bill is legitimately our responsibility, but they're gonna pay for what they didn't take care of and all the resulting problems that caused. Last thing I'll say about EVS, just like any other contractor, as long as they're doing a good job at a good price, they're reliable, they're doing what we need to do, I'm gonna keep using them. It doesn't really matter to me what they did 3 years ago if they're doing a great job now. Having said that, if they're not doing a great job now, they're out. And having said that, sorry Nick, even if they're doing a great job, it's still a good idea to look at other vendors.
Thank you.
I think that's where you were going.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Just a question as far as billing. I noticed that one of the invoices was dated for June. Do they typically just bill every 3 months, or is that just oversight? Or
I don't want to speak for you, but bills aren't always as reliable from these people as you would think.
We had a problem with signers, and there were some of
That's a
those that were
different
over $5,000, and I didn't have signers. So I called them and I said, we're having a board problem.
Okay.
When can we put it off until we get signers? And they were super accommodating, and I paid it when we did.
Okay, thank you for sharing that.
And that problem's behind us. so
Okay,
Problem solved.
good. Speaking of that, on a different note,
Mhm.
can I speak on a different note? Well, why don't we just have Docusign for everybody? I mean, does it cost more money? for all of us to have the ability to sign, or is that something that's way out of line?
Are you talking about financial signatures?
Talking in general, if there's situations where,
We use DocuSign all the time. Anybody can use DocuSign
Yeah,
if
but
they
are we-
send it to you. But for most financial things, we don't use DocuSign.
right, there's certain things you need a wet signature, but there's other things that at times.
No, for the banking things, you have to be a signer. You have to.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with wet signatures. You have to be
Yeah,
on.
Sure, I understand that, but I'm just saying in general, is there any reason, are there situations where a board member could
Few and
sign?
far between, so the things that we need actual board signatures for are the things that we usually hit you up with after these meetings. So a resolution has to be signed, a budget, a levy, things of that nature. That's completely different, those are usually wet signatures. Tracy's absolutely right, any bank, if you are not a signer on
Yeah,
an
I
account,
get that.
you're not signing. And honestly, we very rarely wet sign for the bank, it's usually the online approval. Am I speaking out of turn?
No, it's usually
Okay.
ACH.
Yeah, so as far as that goes, it's whoever the board approves to be a signer. Right now, we've got, I think, president, treasurer, secretary?
It's officers.
Yeah, officers.
Okay.
But we very rarely need signatures for anything else. If we do, it's almost always the president. Probably not even the treasurer very often.
Secretary.
Or the secretary.
Is the runner-up.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's usually not what we need. It's the financial transfer that we need the signers for.
I'm fine with using DocuSign if it's, you guys want to consider it. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm fine coming in personally too. It's fine.
If we need you, we'll let you know, but usually we don't. And usually the things that we do need a wet signature for can be done at the monthly meeting. And if not, we give you a call, one of you can usually stop by. It hasn't really been a problem. Once we got them on, once we got the bank signers handled, the problem kind of went away.
All right, anything else? You guys good?
The only other thing I'd like to just ask is Lamp giving us a full affidavit every month on the cost? Do you get an affidavit from them,
Like a,
total bill?
It's
yes,
part of the pay app usually.
yes.
From the architect.
Can we see it?
AIA
The
document.
payments.
Can you email all of us a
Yeah.
copy of that?
I can.
That would bring us up to speed on total cost
Do
today.
you want just the most recent?
Well, the most recent should be the most accurate. It should
That's
cover everything.
where I'm going with this,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Good with you guys?
Do you
But
offhand
that's
know
just
how much
for
money
Lincoln.
we have
It's just for Lincoln.
left? Roughly?
I don't want to make a guess because I don't want it to be wrong.
Just guesstimate.
Guesstimate on how much bond money we have left, what do you think? Do you know where?
You got 13 million?
Yeah,
We got 13 million.
You gotta be right around 8.5, 9 million now.
No.
no, we don't have that much left.
No, we should-
So,
Engine and ambulance could put another million on it, right?
2 million.
Yeah.
so the first draw is spent up. That's done.
It's completely gone.
And that draw was how much?
6.5.
6.5.
But that paid off all of our debt,
Yep,
put
yep.
down payments on all of our apparatus,
Yep.
and made improvements to Station 1 and Station 2.
Yep. On the new draw, which was 6.5, it would have been 7.5, right? Or
7.
Okay,
Because you have to pay all the fees that go along with that.
Right,
Like
so-
Amalgamated Bank was 25,000, the bond council was another 28,000. All that adds up to
right, so
100,000.
if we're going in a real wide ballpark, let's say like 6.5 on the second draw when the fees are paid off and all that. We paid off the remainder of the engine and the 2 ambulances. That was 400 and some change on the engine, if I recall.
465.
Thank you. Ambulances, do you remember? In
Yeah.
The 3-ish range. So let's call
Yeah.
that $1 million. And then we're what, about 4 into the,
Yeah, I mean, we're about 300,000. is what we're gonna,
Oh, no, I meant, as much as we paid to LAMP for the building, I think it's in about the 4 million range.
yes,
What was the bid price on the building?
The
6.2.
How much?
6.2, right?
Thought originally it was 5.9 and got,
It kept creeping
yeah,
up.
it kept creeping up.
Yep.
So I'm using the gross numbers right now,
Mhm.
okay? So by the time we're done, let's say we're at 6 million, just round it off. You got $1 million to pay, so you're at 7. You probably got another $400,000 or $500,000 in equipment and furnishings. So, you know, you're pushing 750 to 8 million.
Let me get you the report.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just, like I said, I'm looking at the numbers and I just wanna make sure that as we go down, because you're only 2 years into your bond. And the bond is 10, 12 years? What's the period for it?
Well, they're different on each draw, but they'll be done by.
They're 10, 22 and
10.
24 are the draws.
So I start doing division and I look at, you know, the bond is costing us anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 a month without interest right now. So I just, you know, it's huge money and I just want
It is.
everybody to be well aware of it because it's easy to be spending the money and all of a sudden you go, oh my God, we're in trouble. So I just,
So
and
understand
I
when I say.
where you're at.
Understand when I say this, I know that it comes from the taxpayers. I know that it's not free money. Having said that, I don't worry about paying off the bond because we levy for it each year. We're gonna get that money to pay both principal and interest through that bond levy each year. So I look at it, from my point of view, as a completely separate bucket than I look at our operations.
But please understand, Chief, coming from, and Nick probably will back me up, coming from where we understand how the system works. 99.9% of the public doesn't understand that, and you can't explain that to them, and all they do is say, you're spending money, and look what it's costing. And I'm being,
Well, yeah.
I'm being forthright with
Sure.
that, but that's
Sure.
the way it is. And we eventually, my thinking is in the next 3 to 5 years, we're gonna have to ask the public for some more money for personnel.
Yep.
Well,
So-
they had planned all along that we had to start planning in 28 for going for a referendum again.
So
28
I
was
just
the
want us
date.
to be very conscious of what's going on financially right now. And I got a lot of confidence in this board. I don't know about the old board. And I'm not against you two guys because you were there, or the chief, Tracy, or anything else. I'm just saying, I'm new here. I know what I expect and I will push it. And
Okay.
I'll try to be very professional about it. But I'm here to represent the public too and give them the best service. We don't have the best service. I'm gonna speak up about that too. The only other thing I would like to mention, since I thought about it here again, when we have a situation such as a house fire the other night, or we've had, going back 6 months ago or a year ago when we had the death, I understand that during the situation that nobody can notify us. I'd like to think within the next shift, in the morning when you come in, that somebody sends out a quick text to the board members saying that we had a house fire last night and we lost a garage or whatever it was, or we had a house fire and we lost a victim, so that when people come to us, we're not caught with our pants down, excuse the expression.
That's
but,
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
happened
just,
a couple of times to me. People have called and said, hey, I saw on Channel 7 News that you guys had a fatality, and it's like, we did. So, do you guys typically do press releases?
what's it?
Press
So-
releases. Typically do press releases in regards to-
Typically not, but typically if the press gets word of something that's going on, they will reach out to us and we will make a statement. It's never been a practice for us to actually prepare a press release and give it to them. If we want to start doing that, I'd like a little bit of, not guidance, but training is more the word. Maybe a PIO class type
Okay.
thing.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to misspeak.
Okay.
And I don't want to give out more than I probably
Sure.
ought to. As far as
Yeah.
when you want to be notified, what do you see as a threshold?
Well, I
So-
think personally, and I don't mean to jump in on Jim here, but I don't see, there's no reason why a group text can't be sent, as long as no one responds to it.
Yeah,
You know, as soon as the officer that's was running the incident just comes in and shoots us a text and say, just by the way, this occurred tonight, further details will be forthcoming. So you don't have to spend, I mean, literally spend 2 minutes and say, hey, this address, if this is what happened, no fatalities, no injuries, whatever, real quick, and just send it out, and we're all aware of it.
So let me propose this, and bear with us a little bit, because it's gonna take, we'll probably make some mistakes before we get it all ironed
That's
out.
fine.
We have an officers meeting next week. I will tell our shift commanders that if you get an incident of,
Say, media worthy would be.
okay, media-worthy incident,
And that, but
and
that
I'm
would be,
gonna see that
But
as,
that's not.
it's a structure
something of
fire.
significance.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think anything that pulls in a number of resources, from other communities, like a general alarm, that's
That-
of any.
that might be more than you're looking for. Like I said,
Okay,
we'll,
you figure it out.
we'll find our level.
But I agree.
But we'll start with the incident of significance for sure. So if, we'll call it a structure fire, an actual working structure fire.
Yeah.
If we get, a smoke in the garage, probably not.
No.
But certainly a fatality. I'm gonna go with any type of special rescue. We get trench.
Trench River.
Yeah, any of those,
Medium.
Trench River, hazmat. I hate to say this because it sounds unfair, but a person of significance involved, the mayor was just killed and you're gonna wanna know about that.
What's that?
A celebrity or a,
Oh, yeah.
a prominent figure
Yeah,
of the
because that'd be
community.
media worthy,
Yeah, and it's not gonna be gossip, I'm not gonna tell you he,
Yeah.
It just
passed out and hit his head, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
If you can work with me, I'll tell them to get a message to you guys and we'll try to keep you up
It
on
does,
things.
just brief and right to the point.
Yep.
Nothing- It
And the
just
whole-
gives us insight when somebody says something, what's going on. I mean, I said this about the school board. A car would hit the back of a school bus, I knew before a fire truck was there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I can't promise you that
No,
right off the
no,
bat.
I'm just saying.
We'll do our best.
We-
And
yeah.
I know the people, and I know I am gonna forget, so we will do our level best to
Okay.
keep you guys.
And I think the PIO and the press release would be really a good.
I think so too. I get a little nervous talking to the press, I'm afraid I'm gonna say something I ought not to, so I go with the option of keeping my mouth
There's
shut.
people who don't
But,
want
I just had salespeople, they wanted me to do a video on a review. Can
Yeah.
I review our job via video? I said, no. I said, I can write a review, but I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
because I don't do well in front of
that's fair.
I think the training's a good, because on the school board, we had communications officer, basically, that, especially when something came up,
I agree.
she'd call me,
Yeah,
talk to me, she'd even send the press release to me to review it, make sure I was good with it, because my name went on it as well, as the president. So I think having at least some kind of training or somebody that can
Yeah.
help assist
Right now,
that.
say as far as press releases are concerned,
Yeah.
don't do it. They'll be in the station continuously. They'll be
Well,
in
I
the
think a
first.
press release is a good idea, but it's gotta be done by a trained person.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
have. somebody that's
Yeah, you don't
trained
want to say the
Don't
wrong thing
leave it up
or
to,
too
don't
much.
leave it up to Brenda. Leave it up to the department to get it to them,
Yeah.
so.
better to remain silent and thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Well, controlling the narrative too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so, okay. Alright, anything else? We good? Alright, can I have a motion to adjourn? Was that a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
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 All in favor? Aye. Alright, 7:02, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. You wanna chat?
Hold on, signing to do. You got some signing to do.
Okay.
You wanna
So,
meet?
yeah, I want to say while you guys are all here, and it's not official,